يعني
ده سؤال ده
طب
ليه
ايه
كل واحد
مثلا؟
ياخد
طب ما هو
حساته؟
فعلا هما ما عندهمش غير لابتوب واحد، يعملوا ايه؟
مفيش الكلام ده.
جبت واحد
انا
ما انت ما تقولوش.
خلاص يا جماعة.
الحمد لله على السلامه يا مستر.
يا جماعه انتوا عيال برد قوي.
Hello, I'm sorry.
مستر.
Morning, Habibi. I want to ask you what the last part you heard. Tadrus, can you answer my question?
Yes, Mister.
What is the last part you heard? Because it was an internet cut, sorry. Did you hear the part about Liesel and Max?
Oh, yes.
Okay, let's talk about Hans. Hans, again, is Liesel's foster father. The man is tall, gentle, kind-hearted, with compassion and bravery that Liesel admires. It is Hans who teaches Liesel to read. He was her teacher and soothes her, comforts her from her endless nightmares. Again, the girl was in the habit of having nightmares. Why? Because her brother, her little brother, died in front of her on the train. Okay, he was supposed to live with her with these foster parents, but he died on the way there. But she was in the habit of having nightmares. She used to dream of her brother and get up at night screaming, crying. Hans used to go up to her and comfort her and soothe her. The fifth character, I think, is Rosa Huberman, Hans's wife, a stern woman, a strict woman, a hard woman, a harsh woman, a tough woman. You can say whatever you want. Okay? Rosa, although her husband was kind and brave, the woman was hard, frowning all the time. She rarely smiles. A stern woman who has a kind heart but does not show it as often as softly as her husband. And her husband shows his feelings. But the woman was internally kind, but she didn't look so. She looked harsh, as I said. The next character is Rudi Steiner. Rudi Steiner. In German, when we have the letter S followed by T or P for pen, the S is pronounced sh. So this is Rudi Steiner, an amusing character, the same age as Liesel, was a young boy who regularly requests kisses from the girl. He was still young, and from time to time, he asked her for a kiss. He becomes Liesel's partner in crime. Which crime? We know that Liesel is the book thief, and maybe there are some other crimes they both will be involved in later. Okay? Again, Rudi Steiner, an amusing character, a funny character at the same age as Liesel, who regularly requests kisses from her. He becomes Liesel's partner in crime. So far, guys, we talked about, I think, 6 characters. Let's remember them again. Okay, Yasmin, Said, welcome. The main character is Death. The main character is Death, and Death is the narrator of the story. Who is, or what we can say what, because Death is not a person. Who or what is the narrator of the story? It's Death. This is the main character, Death. The second main character is Liesel Memminger, the young girl who grows up in Germany during World War II. She is forced, she didn't want to, but she is forced to live with foster parents Hans and Rosa. And when she learns to read, she steals books. The third character is Max Vandenberg. Max Vandenberg, a 23-year-old Jew. His father served with Liesel's foster father, Hans. We know Hans now. Max's father served in the army during World War I, about 25 years earlier with Hans. Okay, he hides. Why? Why does he hide? Because he is a Jew, and Hitler during World War II put the Jews in concentration camps and killed.
Hitler.
Huh? Yes, and killed many of them, as you know. This is what is called known as the Holocaust. Max hides in their basement and develops a friendship with Liesel. Max, 23, develops a friendship with Liesel, who was, I think, maybe 10, 11, 12 at that time. Character number 4 is Hans Huberman, the foster father, the kind, the tall, kind foster father, who teaches the girl, the little girl, how to read, and he comforts her from her nightmares. And his wife is Rosa. Rosa is a stern woman, a harsh woman. She is internally kind, but she doesn't show her feelings. Although her husband was very kind, smiling all the time, the woman was frowning all the time. Character number 6 is the young boy, Rudi Steiner, an amusing character. He was Liesel's age. He regularly requests kisses from her. He becomes her partner in crime, her culprit. They used to steal together. Steal, of course, we know one thing. They used to steal books and other things. We'll know later. Okay. Let's talk about the setting. As we said, if you remember, the setting is the time and place of any work of art. The time and the place of the novel or the poem or the play. In 1923, Hitler and his supporters were concentrated in Munich. Again, in 1923, Hitler and his supporters, before becoming in charge in Germany, before he became the prime minister or the chancellor or whatever he's called at that time. He wasn't the president. Germany, there is no president, or maybe the president is something symbolic. The most important person in Germany is the chancellor. Now we have Angela Merkel, as you know, they are called chancellors. Or as we call them in Arabic, Mustashara Angela Merkel. In 1923, Hitler and his supporters were concentrated in Munich. They were in Munich in Arabic, or München in German. It became a Nazi. Nazi, you know the word, but in English we say Nazi because the letter Z in German is Z, Nazi. So it became, Munich became a Nazi stronghold, like camp, when Hitler became dictator in 1933. So, although he was concentrated there, something like imprisoned there in 1923, he put the, it became a Nazi stronghold and a strong place for the Nazis in 1933, and I think this is the year in which he became in power. A group of Munich University students formed a resistance movement in 1942 during World War II. Majority were caught and executed. Most of them were arrested and killed. The city was heavily damaged. We talk about the city of Munich by Allied bombing. The Allies, you know the Allies, Britain, France, America, some other countries. So Munich was bombed in 1942 during World War II. The city was hit by 71 air raids over a period of 6 years. The city was attacked 71 times over a period of 6 years. From 1939, the onset or the start of the war, till 1945. First concentration camp. I'm not sure where to start, here or here. Let's start here. April 1945, the US assaulted the outskirts of Munich. The outskirts means the outer parts of Munich. Liberating the Dachau concentration camp. Again, a concentration camp is a camp where a large number of people, prisoners, was put there. In the process, first concentration camp, Dachau, was 16 kilometers northwest of Munich. It was a concentration camp for 12 years and recorded the intake of, a very large number, almost 250,000 people. 2006 prisoners. Approximately 32, I'm not sure whether there is a hidden number or what, 32,000 prisoners were liberated in 1945. What about the others? We still have about 170,000 people killed or died. Okay, this is some information about Dachau, the first concentration camp in which a large number of people, almost 200,000 people, especially Jews and communists, were killed. Historical context, some information about Adolf Hitler. He was born in 1889. He dreamed of being an artist and left school to pursue his dream. So he left school to achieve or chase his dream. At 18, he went to Vienna, Austria, to study art, but was not accepted to Vienna Academy of Fine Arts. He was unemployed. He didn't have any job for the next 5 years. During his stay in Vienna, he became influenced by Karl Lager, the mayor of Vienna. So again, the man was born in 1889. He wanted to be an artist. He wanted to join an art school, but he wasn't accepted. He was unemployed for 5 years. During his stay in Vienna, he became influenced by the mayor of Vienna, the capital city of Austria. Karl, the mayor, the Vienna mayor, was anti-Semitic. And the word here, anti-Semitic, is a little bit tricky because in international literature, when we use the word anti-Semitic, this means a Jew hater. The meaning, of course, must be broader than this, but because Jews aren't the only Semitic. But here, anti-Semitic means a person who hates Jews and Jews only, okay? Meaning to have hatred or hostility towards Jews. Hitler's hatred for communists, and Jews, again, Hitler tried to get rid of two types of people, communists and Jews. Communists and Jews. His hatred for them began to develop because he was influenced by Karl. He moved to Munich, Germany, and enlisted in the German army. He joined the German army because he was unemployed. He didn't find anything to do. He served as a messenger in the army. He was just a messenger, and he was honored with the Iron Cross. And we have a photo of it here, the Iron Cross, twice for his bravery. So he was a brave man. He was yes, here. Was devastated by German defeat and returned home. Okay. After Germany lost World War I, he was devastated psychologically and returned home blaming the Jews and communists. You know, Germany lost in World War I, and they were humiliated, and they lost parts of their land. Hitler thought that the Jews and the communists were the reason behind this. They returned home he blamed the Jews and the communists for their loss. After the war, he became involved in politics and discovered that he was a gifted public speaker. He was good at convincing people of his ideas, his beliefs, and he discovered himself. His political career, in 1920, Hitler joined the National Socialist German Workers' Party. This is the German acronym for this party, NAZIS, or Nazis in English, the Nazis, the National Socialist German Workers' Party. Okay, in 1923, he tried to take over the government in a revolt in Munich, something like maybe a coup, a military coup. He tried to take over the government in a revolt, something like rebellion, a revolution in Munich. As we mentioned before, he was concentrated in Munich in 1923. It failed, this revolt failed, and he was sent to jail, but gained him nationwide attention. He became famous for being the leader of such revolt in 1923. While in jail, he wrote Mein Kampf, a very famous book, a book that is translated in almost all the languages of the world. And this is like an autobiography. This is an autobiography about his Kampf. Kampf in German means struggle, or in Arabic, kifahi, Mein Kampf. It's usual in German to find this cluster of letters, MPF. MPF. The word horse in German is Pferd. The first letter is P and the second letter is F. Pferd. This is not usual in English, as you know. So Mein Kampf was his autobiography, the book in which he told us about his struggle and his early life, and set out his belief that the German, in this book, or Aryan race, the Aryan race was superior to all. The same stuff that the Jews say about themselves. The Jews now say that they are superior to all. You know, Jews don't accept anyone to join their religion easily, okay? The Aryan race was superior to all, especially the Jews. The Jews are inferior to us. They are our servants. They can't be as equal as or equal to us in any way. We are superior to all, especially the Jews. He considered the Jews something like animals, which should be treated badly, and they should be put in concentration camps, as we said, like animals. Belief of Aryan race. What is the belief of this Aryan race? Hitler identified Jews as a race, and he considered them as a race of human beings, not as a religious group. Of course, the Jews are a religious group, not a race. And a race, they have specific genes, they have many things in common. Of course, this is not right. He claimed that the Aryan race had to be kept pure and become superior to the rest of the world. To be kept pure, he claimed that the superior race need room to live. We need room. And those Jews and communists live with us. So we should put them in camps and we can live in the space freely. The book was dismissed. Few recognized the threat the book posed to Jews, and all of Europe, the ideas in the book was a threat to, because if young people, Aryan young people read this, they can kill any Jew in the street or kill any other person who is not an Aryan in the street. So it was a threat to Jews and all of Europe, because he considered himself or his race superior to all, especially the Jews. The book was dismissed, not accepted. Few people recognized the threat of the book posed, or the threat the book posed to Jews and all of Europe. No one thought it possible for him to carry out such ideas. Again, he wanted to make the Aryan race live freely. This means he wants to get rid of all the others. But the conditions in Germany proved otherwise. He was able later, when he became in charge, when he became responsible for Germany, he applied his theories and he tried to get rid of all the others. Okay, I'll stop here and we'll complete after the break, inshallah. We have a break now. After the break at 10:35, we'll do the second session. Thank you very much.